It's a day where you kind of dread. It's not a celebration. Social media is not your friend on Mother's Day. Let's turn this Mother's Day to a peaceful day and a self-care day. Use that day to pour the love, pour the self-care, pour the energy back into yourself, and you deserve it. Don't feel guilty. So you're in no contact with your mother, like me. It's Mother's Day, and I want to show you how you can go from, feeling that guilt feeling to having some peace in your life, just based on what I've done in my own journey of having no contact for 3 years with my narcissistic mother and being able to deal with these Mother's Days that come up. And I do think self-care is so important, and it's really the key to this, and it's the key to your journey anyway of finding peace. But specifically on this day, I think there are some tips maybe I can give you on how to deal with this a bit better. Just me trying to navigate it, how I can cope with it. I've been through 3 Mother's Days now with no contact, so I kind of have come up with my own little thing, and it might work for you to just feel you're more at peace and with this day, because it is difficult. If you've grown up with a narcissistic mother and you're in no contact, it's very difficult to deal with all the it's a day where you kind of dread. It's not a celebration of the mother's love, it's more a dread, and you just kind of want to get through the day. The reason for that is that day, you've got a job, you've got to go to work, people are going to ask, oh, how's your Mother's Day? Everyone's talking about it, everyone's talking about what gifts they've bought, what flowers, and then you see it on social media, everyone posting with their mothers, all the gifts they're getting, the celebration, and it's a lot. It's a lot coming at you on that day. And so yeah, I just feel us, my people, my community, the ones that get it, if you've grown up with a narcissistic mother and you've just gone through Mother's Day, I know in America you've just gone through Mother's Day. In the UK we have it in March, but I've been through 3 Mother's Days with no contact, and each one's got a bit better, so I just can share my journey on how I deal with those days. And I have my own little kind of thing that I've created for that day. But I really think self-care is very, very important, just generally in life, but specifically on that day. I really believe self-care is so gonna save you in this situation a little bit. And just, we're gonna shift. We're gonna talk about how we're gonna just move from that guilt to feeling peace. And so if you're in that position right now, you've just had a Mother's Day and it's a lot, this is going to be a video for you. I think that you're going to be able to relate to. So I don't know, I'm just going to start with it's okay to acknowledge your own feelings in this. I just want to acknowledge that it is okay to feel whatever emotion is coming to you that day. It's okay to feel that. It's just a thing that it's going to be around you. So it does bring a weird emotion to you. So if you're feeling kind of any emotion, just go with it, And what I like to do is I try to just get it out of my system. If something comes along, an emotion, just go with it. If you want to have a little cry, it's okay to have a cry, It is absolutely normal to have a cry, because on that day, it's a celebration of a mother's love. It's a celebration of a mother that has done everything they possibly can to give you that unconditional love. And unfortunately with a narcissistic mother, it's not necessarily unconditional. Or a love that a mother really should be giving a child. And it's unfortunate to say they just don't care in the same level as maybe you see other mothers that are not narcissistic. And it's just a bit overwhelming that day. So if an emotion comes up, that's absolutely fine, because you're also grieving as well. That day puts it even more of magnitude on the fact that actually you don't have a mother around. You are pretty much alone in this day of Mother's Day. If you don't have kids, you're pretty much just, and you are grieving someone that maybe is still alive. So it's a weird array of emotions. You may not even have any tears that come out of your eyes. You may just be at pure bliss and relief, and you feel guilty for not even feeling sad about that. That's fine as well. There's nothing wrong with that emotion, at all. And you know what I'm talking about. The ones that have grown up with narcissistic mothers, you know what I'm talking about. So just firstly, it's okay. If we're feeling a certain way, it's fine. Let's just be in those emotions, and there's nothing wrong with that at all. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with it. I would say my first Mother's Day was particularly difficult for me when I went no contact the first Mother's Day. So if you've gone no contact recently, or it's just the first Mother's Day you're experiencing, it's quite a difficult one. I'm not going to lie. As I said, like, it does get better with time. But yeah, it was, I felt quite alone. I felt quite lonely. I felt I didn't have anyone. And I actually indulged myself in social media and was just looking at everyone else, and it was really just not the way to deal with it at all, and kind of just stayed in, and I just wanted that day to go as quickly as possible, and I just felt very, very low the whole day, and I didn't really deal with it very well, that first one. You know, as the first year of no contact, you're kind of going through a array of different emotions here. So anyway, as time goes on, as you'll hear at the end of the video, I'll talk about it a bit more. It does get better. So yeah, so if you're on the first kind of recently on no contact, you know, it's okay to feel that. It's absolutely okay. And yeah, so I just wanted to kind of say that. Secondly, what I would do. And this is the most important thing that really helped me. So we've established we've got narcissistic mothers. We've established they don't really care. Please do not let that day, if you've decided to go no contact, please remember, do not let that day pull you back into a moment of weakness to go contact again. I'm very strong on this point because I truly believe if you've decided to go no contact, it's not an irrational decision that you've made. I believe that anyone that's decided to go no contact with a narcissistic parent, it's taken them a very, very long time to get to this point. I do not believe that someone is just going no contact with their own parent just for the fun of it. No, there's an array, there's a time frame of this, a long time frame that you've tried, and there's nothing else you can do. So the reason that you've gone no contact, you have to remember that on this day, because what will happen is you will have maybe a moment of such guilt that you feel that you're such a bad person when you see everyone else giving flowers to their mother. And it's a very normal thing to feel. You are a human being. You are a child of someone. And it's a natural, humane thing to feel. And, you know, but I would truly, truly say from my experience that to try and be in contact, that no contact for me is the only way that has given me the level of peace that I am at now. And I really, truly want that for you guys. It's the only reason why I share my journey like this. Sometimes it's really difficult, but I need to let you know what's worked for me, you know, and I just, maybe it can relate in some way. So yeah, I would truly, truly be careful if you have a moment of weakness to think that you're just going to contact them back. I'm talking to the ones that have gone completely no contact, okay? That you're just going to, you know, give them a call, happy Mother's Day, and then everything's going to go back to normal. No, they will never change. This is the problem with the issue with narcissistic, you know, this kind of narcissism thing. It's a very difficult thing to change. It's not like just someone is just having a bad day or just having a bad week. No, this is a very difficult thing to change in someone. You know, it's something that's has been adopted and in them in childhood, probably from their own parents, and it's developed in them over time. And in order for someone to, say for instance, your narcissistic mother, to get better, they need to acknowledge what they have done, and this will never happen, because when they acknowledge what they've done, they're acknowledging their insecurities, and that is something that they're not doing. This is not their goal. This is their purpose, is to not acknowledge their insecurities. So for them to have self-reflect, self-analyze, to show empathy, it's going to be very difficult for them. So when you're on that, I'm having a moment of weakness, you have to remember this, that it's very difficult for them to change. Do not contact them. Do not do it. Just whatever you do, just listen to my voice. Remember my voice saying, do not contact them. Trust me, it will save you in the long term. And anyone that's been I've been 3 years long, no contact. Okay. Tell me how many years you've been no contact. And if any of you got a journey, like on Mother's Day, you contacted them and then it didn't turn out the way you wanted it to, please comment below, because it literally helps other people that are going through this to know like what's kind of the outcomes that are going to come from this, maybe potentially. And but yeah, that's my recommendation, just to stick on your path, stick on what you've chosen. You've done the right thing. You don't feel guilty. You're doing the right thing of going no contact. You haven't just made a rash decision like this. This is taking you a long time to get here, and you should be so proud of yourself that you have gone no contact and you're putting yourself and your peace first before someone else's. And I'm proud of you. I'm proud of myself, and you should be really proud of yourself for getting here. Okay. I want to then talk about, like, literally, you will feel guilty. You will feel guilty. I can just sit here and say, no, you're not going to feel guilty. Everything's going to be fine. No, you're going to feel guilty. I feel so guilty. Like, on those days, because, like, do you know how lovely, like, I would love to be able to turn up to my mother's place, whatever, and just give her flowers, give her these things, give her this, show an appreciation. But I've got nothing to appreciate in a sense of what's happened here. I will do that, and it will be something. I don't like these flowers. It'll be, oh, is that it? Oh, it's funny how this person gets this and this person gets that and this person gets, it's just going to keep continuing, And some people that don't come from narcissistic families may look at this and be like, what do you mean there's nothing to appreciate? I mean, in a sense, what is Mother's Day, okay? Mother's Day is a day where you are giving someone literally their flowers of their efforts of unconditional love and care for you. They do everything. A mother will do everything for their child to do the best that they can in that situation, and will do the best showing that with love, with empathy, with care, with grace, calmness, with structure, with patience, but mostly with love. And that's all you could ask for from a mother, is just love. Love. It goes a long way. And unfortunately, daughters from narcissistic mothers, they don't get that kind of love. They get a very strange kind of concept of what we believed love was, but actually isn't what love is. And when you get older, you realize actually this isn't love. This isn't love at all. And that's the saddest part about it all, is because, you really want to celebrate a Mother's Day, but it's been kind of taken away from you. And but it's okay, because you're not alone in this, and that's why, the whole point of this journey is to share, because it's good to know that you're not alone in this, and you're not. So, I don't want you to feel too guilty about this, okay? Because the guilt will kind of like crush you a little bit, we're already having days that we've in and out. Sometimes we feel a bit guilty. I really don't think you should feel guilty about your decision. Well, the reason why I would feel guilty before is because, like, it's more like appeasing other people's perception of what a Mother's Day is according to society, right? And if you don't do that, you're deemed as an ungrateful, unappreciative person, a child. You're deemed as someone that cannot appreciate what a mother's done for you, but they haven't lived your journey. They haven't lived what it's like growing up. And it's very, very difficult to explain to someone that hasn't grown up from a narcissistic family, a mother. It's so difficult to describe what this is, but it's a mother does not try to sabotage you, okay? A mother does not try to make you feel guilty. A mother does not try to gaslight you, to manipulate you, to blame you on everything that's happened in their life. A mother doesn't try and be sneaky to see the downfall of you. They really like to see the failures, and then you get a little smirk. A mother wouldn't do that. A mother would not do that. A mother is not just about giving birth to someone. A mother is about having that nurturing, empathic, unconditional love that you give to your child, okay? And the mothers here, if you're a mother, please, and you've grown, I'm not a mother, okay, but I can sense what a real mother is, and that's just not it from a narcissistic one. And I can guarantee you that they're two different mothers, a narcissistic one and one that is not narcissistic. And Mother's Day is about celebrating that motherhood, that love, and that maternal bond that you have with your child, okay? And so don't feel guilty because you necessarily weren't given those tools. You necessarily weren't given that love, unconditional love, that care that you were needed to develop into a woman that had the ability to have that self-confidence, to have that self-worth, to have these things, and it comes from a mother. It comes from a mother's love to give you that. And then when you get into adulthood, then it's you make your choices. When you're an adult, you can make your own choices and you can develop your own thought processes. But initially, you're the first person into this world you see as your mother. So they are the ones that really have that emotional tools that you need to be an emotionally intelligent, empathic, an emotionally intelligent human being that has the tools to, go through life, and you get that very early on in childhood. And it's very important that a mother gives you that to you, especially in early childhood, teenage years, especially as a woman going through changes. And if you weren't given that, it's a very confusing place. And it's a place where you have to realize, oh, I'm parenting myself here, or why am I parenting a parent? Why am I guiding a parent and you kind of get neglected a little bit in the process of that, and I think it's so important as women for our self-confidence, for our self-worth of who we are as women, and just how we hold ourselves. And when that's taken away, it just take a lot of rewiring to get to the point where that self-care goes, that energy, that supply that we've given to someone else, our energy that we've given to our mother for so many years is now pulled back into ourselves. So it's absolutely like time now, for us to pour that energy back to ourselves. There's no time for feeling guilty anymore. I'm over it. I'm really over feeling guilty for someone, again, that really didn't care for me, that I've given them so many years to show me, just show me something, just show me a little bit that you really truly care. Maybe it lasts a day. No, a real mother would not just give you a little bit, a day here, a day there, and then go back. No, a mother will always unconditionally give you that, regardless. I think the guilt just comes from, most of us, we didn't want to get to this point, and then we get made to feel even worse when other people have to acknowledge the fact that we're not speaking. If you have told someone else and they really don't understand it at all, I've just stopped telling people, to be honest. I just try and avoid that conversation. Well, quite frankly, as you can see in my other videos, I really don't have any friends, to be honest. So I don't really get into these conversations. But yeah, if you do, maybe just try and ask them a bit more about their thing, and just, politely just try and maybe redirect the conversation if you don't want it to go delve into it. Because unfortunately, just society, people start asking you, and then they get into why don't you talk to you? And then it's just it just magnifies it even more for you. It's like, I do know this. It's like, this is not really what I wanted, but it's just the way society is. So, even if you try not to discuss it. I know it's going to be quite difficult at the workplace as well, because at the workplace, everyone's going to be, maybe you're going to work and, people are asking you and stuff like that. And this is why I say in one of my other videos, you can see in my other videos, I say, start lying. When I say start lying, when you've grown up in a narcissistic family, I'm not saying be a pathological liar. No, I'm not saying naturally, morally lie about things. No, I'm talking in the specific area of growing up in narcissistic things. Sometimes, maybe I'm saying the wrong word of lie. Maybe hold back on information is a better way of rephrasing it, okay? But I would say, like, if someone's asking you, maybe don't share too much about this, okay? Because a lot of people will just judge you, and they will think that you are in the wrong for not having contact or whatever for your narcissist parent or anything that you want to say. And the thing is, I wouldn't even go to the point of speaking negatively about your narcissistic parent, because you know what you're doing? You're just actually, when you emit and you give out a negative feeling, that is going to come back to you. I truly believe that. So, if you're here and watching this on the channel and here, I don't want, us, to be the ones that, just pour me, that story, and just giving out negative energy and all this. No, like, we are trying to be not the parent that birthed us. We are trying to be everything that narcissistic parent isn't, We are here to self-reflect. We are here to not carry on the habits, the subconscious retraining, that programming that we've had. We are not doing that. We want to move forward with our lives. We want to go through life with peace. We want to transform our lives, and that's what we're doing here. We are doing that here, okay? And so just talking negatively about your narcissist mother is not going to benefit you in any way, and it really just doesn't give out a good energy to the world, So just don't even do it. Just don't pay any attention. But yeah, if people start asking, just refrain from giving too much information. Maybe just redirect and ask them about their, and that's, but that's kind of where you're going to have to try and navigate it as best you can. But if you say, oh, I don't speak to my mother, oh, she's narcissist, and you start going on, be careful doing that in the workplace, because people may have a judgment on you. People may say, well, she doesn't speak to her mother, and you never know, you know what I mean? So just be careful of who you're sharing this information that you do not speak to your mother. And if someone says, just say, you could even say, how was your mother's? Yeah, it was good. You're not lying, you're not saying anything else. Just say, yeah, it was good. You don't have to go into too much detail. They don't need to know everything. People don't need to know everything about that. And it's the best way you can protect your energy, and it's the best way that you can, just be that person that you're, when you go to work, you want to be that nice person. You don't want to be deemed as someone that's, oh, she doesn't speak to her mother, she's good, and then you shared everything. No, we're not that. Okay, so you don't need to share too much information to anyone, Just say, yes, it was good, So yeah, that's another thing that I realized that I started doing, like in Mother's Day. Yeah, that's what I did. Just, yeah, it was good. That's it. And but then just ask them about their Mother's Day. It's the best way, People like to share information and stuff. Just ask them, and just be a listening ear that day if you can. And if you don't even want to be a listening ear, just say it was okay and just move on politely. That's all you need to do. But yeah, so like, as I said before, like self-care, I'm telling you, saved my Mother's Days. Honestly, the first one was horrible. And then I realized, wait a minute, we need to shift here. And I mean, as I said, time will heal. But as I got through this journey of no contact and just living by myself, just literally spending years, I'm still by myself, but just spending literally years by myself. And I needed it. I needed it so badly, because my energy had been taken away for so long. You'll realize you need that time for yourself. You need to reclaim your time back, and you need to get yourself back. And self-care is so important. I used to feel so guilty for even buying myself something. I used to feel so guilty for taking care of myself. I used to be I didn't even used to like to wear like I don't know, like even nice clothing or feminine clothing, like, too much, I just didn't, I always loved fashion and I always loved makeup. That was always one thing I really loved. And I find it quite therapeutic, actually, to be honest. Like, makeup for me is not just makeup. It's actually it was a time where I knew that when I was living with my narcissistic mother, it was a time like in the bathroom or in the bedroom, whatever. Like, for some reason, she would just leave me alone when I'm doing my makeup. Like, in the bathroom, I can shut it. It's locked. And, like, even when I'm in the room, she'll come in and she'll see me doing my makeup. It's fine. Like, there's one thing I was like, oh, do you know what I mean? Because what you're going to do, you're doing something. It's not like you're just there doing nothing, So it's something very therapeutic to me. Even to this day, I will go, put my music on. It's very therapeutic. Like, on Mother's Day, that's what I do. On Mother's Day, when these days come around, I don't just sit there now like I did on the first Mother's Day, just feeling bad, feeling sorry for myself, like feeling, not even sorry for myself, but just genuinely feeling lonely and feeling like, wow, seeing all these things on social media, and it's just overwhelming, And so as time went on, I'm not going to do that again, So I used the next Mother's Day. The next Mother's Day, I wasn't really as fazed, I didn't really feel as guilty anymore. And so I decided that day, right, on Mother's Day, I'm going to make it like my day. I'm going to make it my day to celebrate myself for going no contact. And if you're not from a narcissistic family or you've got to this point watching this, you're going to think that sounds quite harsh, but it's not. The ones that are here with me and you get it. We're going to celebrate our peace. Why not? Why do we have to sit there feeling guilty? Why do they get to make our days rife with guilt? No, I don't want to live like that. I don't want to live my life like that. I've made a decision to go no contact. Mother's Day is not going anywhere. So I need to embrace this day somehow. And if I don't embrace it, I'm just going to feel bad, to be honest. Maybe. So I'd rather reprogram and retrain my mind and my habit to make this day a celebration of my peace, to make this day a celebration of myself, to make this day a celebration of my self-care, of something to self-develop me, and that is why self-care is so important. Like, I use this day now as a celebration, and you should use it as a day of a celebration for yourself, of peace. If you're in no contact, you have more peace than you have when you were in contact, and you need to celebrate that. You need to celebrate how far you've come. And so what I do is I stay away from social media that day. Social media is not your friend on Mother's Day, okay? I think regardless how peaceful you can become, it's still a crazy amount of images of just things you're taking in, information you're taking in, things that you're seeing, that it's just a reminder that you will never have that in a mother, which is just an unfortunate truth that we have to acknowledge, but it's not something that we have to see. We have a choice. So that day, I do not watch social media. I don't own a TV, but I do not put on social media, okay? Internet, social media, I try and avoid it. And I think that's an amazing way. It helped me because the first time I was going through it all, and then second time I was no. So that's the best way. Honestly, it makes it so much better if you just stay away from social media just for that day or that few days, whatever. Just try and limit yourself with that social media, because it will affect you in a way if you keep seeing it. And so just use that time for yourself, okay? As I said before, I was talking about we're going to celebrate this day. This is our day of non-contact. This is our day of peace. We've got to this point and we're going to celebrate it. We're not going to feel guilty. We're not going to carry on this guilt to do that to us. No. So we have to adapt ourselves to this new way, okay? Because there's always going to be something. There's going to be celebrations. There's going to be birthdays. There's going to be Christmas. So we have to adapt our way in. So there's a long-term habit going on that we've created, because these days are not going anywhere, okay? But you know what we can do? We can create habits that are actually ingrained into our mind, so they stick with us as a new habit. So let's turn this Mother's Day to a peaceful day and a self-care day. And so that's why I was talking about makeup before. I was I get up on my Mother's Day. I do my yoga. I love a bit of yoga. Yoga is amazing. So I get up. I listen to my affirmations always. I always listen to my affirmations every day anyway. I'll listen to my affirmations, put my headphones on, listen to my affirmations. Yoga, I'm telling you, yoga is going to be so good for you. It helps with your breathing. It helps with your nervous system. Stretching is very good for you. I'm all about health is wealth. I'm very much a very healthy person. I don't drink. I don't smoke. I believe health is very important for you. Okay. So it's health is wealth, and it's just good for your body, to exercise. It's good to get that. And it just relaxes you. So there's a woman that I watch that got me through the pandemic. Her name, she's a YouTuber, she's boho beautiful. Thank you, because you got me through the pandemic. But she's very good. And so that's good. I love to dance. I'm always dancing. I'm kind of a dancer, so that is something I do. Dancing is so good for your soul. You don't even understand. You don't even need to be the best dancer, but just move your body. It's just so good for you in so many ways, to move your body. And so, that's another thing I like to do. So I just get up, I do that day, and then I'll go to the bathroom and I'll do my makeup extra special that day because it's a celebration, it's a celebration of peace. So I'll make sure that day I'm doing some extra effort with my makeup. And as I said before, makeup for me is just not makeup. It's a time where I find it very, very therapeutic. I find it very, very calming. I find let me find a new, I love watching YouTube videos on makeup things. And I just love listening to music as I'm doing it, and it's just so peaceful. Do you guys get what I mean? Is it that for me it's just do your makeup, you're listening to music, it's just nice. It's just doing things that you want to do, but I find it very, very therapeutic. So whatever you find that gives you something that's going to make you feel better, for me, if I do my makeup extra special that day, I feel a bit yes, I get my Fenty Beauty on, girl. I'll be there with my Fenty, looking, a bit of, the makeup girlies, I watch you all. They all love a bit of Fenty. And I mean, I can go through a whole list of makeup stuff because I'm kind of obsessed with it. But but I find it, anyway, let's get back to it. But I find it for therapeutic, So whatever you find, do your hair extra nice maybe that day, or just do something for yourself that you feel is gonna give you that, that boost that day. It's a special occasion, Because what we're doing is we're reprogramming. We're redefining what that day is, okay? And by doing these little things, what we're realizing is we're putting a positive correlation to a day that seems quite dark and negative and full of guilt and expectation. But we're going to change that day into a day of celebration, into a day of peace, into a day. And when we do these little things, we're doing our makeup, we're maybe putting on a nice outfit. I love fashion. We're going to put on a nice outfit that day because we're celebrating ourselves that we've got to this point. Put on your nice outfit, put on these. And this doesn't pertain just to Mother's Day. This can be any special occasion that has this same societal pressure and guilt around. And we can do this for every other occasion, And so, put your outfit on, do that, and then just go and do some self-care. Go and get your nails done. Go and go to a coffee shop if you want to, and just get yourself a nice drink and just sit there and just enjoy the peace. Go for a walk. Go for a swim. I don't know. Go and get a massage. I don't know. Go and you could save your money that day and make it for that day, that Mother's Day. And it's going to be a day that you're going to treat yourself, It's going to be a day, that you're going to do something. I don't know, go and get your eyebrows threaded. I don't know, whatever it is that you need to do, go and get that. Maybe just even ordering some food for yourself. You don't have to cook that day, just before you get to that day. I know Mother's Day is gone now, but I'm just talking about in general, any occasion like that where, you're not in contact with your parent. And a lot of the time when you're not in contact with your parent, like me, you unfortunately lose a lot more than just a parent. You may have to cut ties with a lot of people which does make you feel like, which puts you in a position where you are kind of alone sometimes in this. And if you're not, if you've got a partner, if you've got kids, if you're a mother on Mother's Day and you've got kids, you can pour that love back into your kids. You can celebrate with your kids. You don't need to tell them exactly what it is. We could just make it a day of celebration of peace, of love, Also, like, if you've got a partner, just celebrate, just celebrate being with a partner and just being grateful for that, maybe, But make it as a day like, it's time for some self-care. It's time for, and the reason why I go on about self-care, because I think, whatever you want to say, but it may sound a little bit superficial, but for me, this is all I can talk about is me, okay? But if I get my nails done, if I do my makeup, if I put something on, for me, because I love these things, it makes me feel better. I feel better in the sense of like, I don't know, I enjoy it. I've done everything that day that I enjoy. And you just feel more confident. You feel you're ready to go, You just feel, You just feel like you're that girl and you are that girl. And it's about being that girl inside first, though, before the outside. Okay? So be that girl from the inside. Be that girl of like, we're reprogramming our mind here. We are adopting new habits here. We are not picking up traits from our narcissistic mother. We are not carrying on these cycles, and all this comes like within, and that's the best part of it all is we need to heal that inner side of us, and that's why the time alone is so important, because you have to self-reflect even on your flaws as well, because unfortunately, even with the narcissistic mother, there are going to be things within us that have affected us like in many different ways. And so we have to acknowledge the fact that maybe we picked up things, and we have to try and understand how we cannot carry on those behavioral patterns. But making this Mother's Day into a peaceful day and a celebration of you and a celebration of how far you've come is so important. But when I talk about self-care, I do think self-care is very, very important. I do think it's important to not feel guilty for if you want to go and get a massage, if you want to go and get your nails done, if you want to go and treat yourself to something on a day. It's okay. It's okay to do that. It is okay. I used to feel so guilty for so long for spending, for pouring energy back to myself, for doing self-care for myself, It's very important and it makes me feel better, so I like to do it. But as my people, it's about the inner, and then it will show in the outer. You will look better. You will feel better. And that day will become better when you realize, actually, it doesn't need to be this depressive, down day. I can acknowledge it, and I can embrace my peace with it. And I'm going to use that day to do something for myself. I'm going to use that day to treat myself. I'm going to use that day to pour the love, pour the self-care, pour the energy back into yourself, and you deserve it. You really do deserve it, and you deserve to do that for yourself. So that's just very, very important. And as I said, like, health is wealth. I'm very much like a healthy person. I live quite healthily, and I think it's very important to live for me, it's so important to live like that. It helps with my nervous system. It helps with many things. It's important for me to take care of myself as much as I possibly can. And it's important that I like to present myself in a way that I feel good about myself. And when I do my hair, my makeup and things like that, I feel good about myself. And it's not to say that if I don't have these things, I don't feel good about myself, because I've done a lot of healing from within. But what I mean is that it gives you an extra boost. You know what I mean? It just gives you something, And that is what the power of makeup, the power of clothes, the power of these things can do. It's not just about being so superficial that makeup is just that. No, makeup is more than just a superficial thing. Clothes are more than that. It can actually completely change how you feel. And I can talk about this more in other videos, but it's just, the moral of the story is, ladies, don't let this day completely ruin your thought, your feeling. don't feel too guilty about this. You know, it'll get better with time. And also, just like how Mother's Day is a birthday, a Christmas as well. These are all occasions that are never going to disappear in society, but we can approach these days differently. Just with these things, like no social media that day, like pouring in that love back to yourself, doing some self-care, doing some, you know, just write a journal maybe, how far you've come, celebrate how far you've come, and that you know that you're doing the right thing, okay? Trust your gut, trust your intuition, and keep healing, keep learning, keep growing, keep being positive, and just keep going. You're doing great, and I'm proud of you. I'm proud of myself, and that's what I want for you guys to get from this. Hopefully, I want you to feel that, you know, this can be a day of celebration of your peace, and treat yourself. You deserve it. Just know you're not alone in this. I felt so alone in these Mother's Days at first. You guys, you're helping me more than I realize as well. Hopefully I'm helping you, but like, let's comment below, because like, let's share like each other's journeys here. Because when we see other like women like, oh, like, is that how Mother's Day is for you, and how it's got better, how you're feeling? You might even feel down, and you know, and there might be people that have been in no contact longer, and then they can help someone, and it's just like, you know, this is just not just me, it's like you guys as well. So it's just like, we're here together, because, you know, not everyone will understand our situation, but we're here, we've got community here, and that's all that matters, is that we understand each other's situation. And if there are other people out there that want to understand, I appreciate you watching this video. Yes, you are my people. I hope you related to that. I hope you I hope you related to that, and I hope that, you know, that gives you something. I hope you took something away from it, like, you know, actually we can reprogram these habits, and this could be a day of celebration. Maybe just change our correlation to what we think that day is. And just remember, ladies, it's okay to treat yourself every now and then. And it's okay to pour that self-care and that love back to yourself that you've given someone else for so long. I just want to leave here like you guys feeling positive and encouraged by this. I've got so much better. I'm just, you know, life is a journey. You know, we're just taking it day by day. But I'm telling you, it's going to get better. I'm telling you. And I appreciate you guys so much for being here. You are my people. You are a community. We are a community here. And if you want to know more videos about how I went no contact, my last video is like how I went no contact, gives you a bit of a backstory, so it'll probably be on the end of the video here, and you can check that out. But yeah, if you want to subscribe. I really would love you guys part of my community. I just don't want to lose you guys, to be honest. And please comment your journeys below and how everything's going, because I read all the comments, by the way. So yeah, I love you all, and I love you all.